Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. All right, Kevin Hart, what's the deal with you and Katt Williams? Kevin Hart was on The Breakfast Club and dropped a lot of F-bombs, so Johnny Mac has made some edits for language.
No, me and Katt have been, we've reconciled.
How long ago?
Prior. I'll say probably like maybe 8 months ago.
What brought that
maybe
on? How did that happen? Because everybody knows the infamous Club Shay Shay interview. Plus, he's been taking shots at you for years, yes. Right? What happened?
Katt and I had a conversation. A private conversation between me and Katt. But the baseline was like, we're older. This is years and years and years of. There's no reason why we shouldn't, like, figure out a world of compromise where we can get along and we can give the fan base something different with us, something that's unexpected, and figure out a way to work together, right? Figure out a way to bring the comedy minds that we both have and put them at the table. Katt thought it was time to do it, as did I. Shook hands. Great conversation, great dialogue. The first thing that came up, of course, was the roast. When the opportunity for the roast came up, reached out to Katt. It'd be dope if you did it. Katt said, we just got in a good space. Kev, if I do it, I'm going to do it. I said, have at it. Katt had at it. And our conversations are private. Like, that's another thing, too, man. I'm not big on running to the microphone and telling personal business. Be an adult. Go call the person. Go call whatever, whomever. Have a conversation. After that conversation is had, that's y'all business. Me and Katt's business is ours. We are in a good spot, thankfully, finally. And it's a good feeling when you can say, like, you've put the problems of old behind you. Like, once again, 46, I'll be 50 soon. That's half your life, man.
Josh Johnson talked with Extra and said of his recent special, I think for this one, my overall concept and the way that it all came together feels very different. It's something that's never happened before. For the level of support that I have and the amount of time, 26 seconds, that we have to come up with something really unique, I mean, I can't say enough. Like, the straight-up support has been very special, very thankful. What does it take to do a special? He says, I mean, at first, you have to have an hour's worth of things to say. That would help. And then in this case, I worked on the concept with the director for the special for a while and wanted to make sure I was doing something that really felt like sidestepping a standard format and everything. And so we didn't get to rehearse it. Like, it's kind of a miracle that it all came together. I feel very strongly that the future of the form is breaking free from a standard model. And I think we did that with this, and I look forward to doing it in the future. How does he come up with jokes? I just don't do anything else. I think it's mostly just the things I find interesting or the things I think that other people might skip through the day. Like, I'm fascinated by things that are mundane and pretty boring, which has been good for the most part. It's been good for that fodder because it's all something we share, and there's sort of a universal aspect there, and you can pull from it endlessly because we all engage with some of the stuff differently. For example, I don't know when's the last time you took the bus, but the bus now versus the bus before, the war is very different. Like, initially, when you were taking the bus before the war in Iran, you were just taking the bus, and now you're taking the bus with people who know they have a car but can't afford gas right now, so it's a much angrier bus. Josh Johnson's Symphony is on HBO Max. Marlon Wayans explained how he's able to remain friends with Dave Chappelle while also supporting Marlon's trans son, Kai. Wayans said of Chappelle, Dave's intention isn't to punch down. Wayans told Variety, I wouldn't hang with Dave if he was full of hate. I don't hang with people like that. I know Dave's heart and his intention is not to punch down. Dave wants to freely tell his jokes, and if you're going to be anti-comedy, then he's going to keep attacking you until you learn to have a sense of humor. He's just standing there and defending his front line as a comedian. As a comedian, I respect his journey, and as a friend, I respect his journey. And for my child, I respect their journey. And as the father of my child, I can appropriate my feelings toward my friend and my feelings toward my child and how we could put those two things together. And I can explain both sides. I'm between them, so I can explain both sides to each other. All my kids are gifts, and our love is the wrapping paper. I'm not here for hate. Transphobia is a form of hate. Homophobia is a form of hate. Racism is a form of hate. All those small-hearted, simple-minded people, there's a hell for you. And if you think you're going to bully my child, go somewhere else. It's not going to happen. I won't stand for it. Star Trek ruiner Patton Oswalt shared with Variety what Patton Oswalt watches with his daughter. He did not mention Star Trek, which he helped to ruin. Some of the things they watch include stand-up comedy. Star Trek ruiner Patton Oswalt said, there's certain comedians like Mitch Hedberg and Maria Bamford I'll show her bits of online. This summer, I'm going to watch the original Richard Pryor live in concert with her. just to show how a true master of the form, a person standing with just a microphone, can create words in your head. Patton said, I'm going to take her to see Weird Al this year. His daughter was friends with Weird Al's daughter, who has now graduated college, but they first got together when they were little. That's nice. Amy Schumer likes when we talk about her. She, of course, shared some photos of her boating vacation on Instagram. The photos were captioned travel. Amy shared 20 pictures showing Amy Schumer jet skiing, paddleboarding, and soaking up the sun on a yacht. Amy Schumer wore a red sweatsuit and black life vest and is sharing her weight loss journey of over 50 pounds. Upworthy caught up with Pete Holmes. Some people thought Pete Holmes is a little edgier than he used to be. Upworthy was like, so you feel like it's not you're making a choice to be edgier? You're just doing you? Pete said, oh, yeah. That's how material shows up, too. I always liken to it if you ever gotten an Amazon package on your doorstep and you don't even remember what it is. That happens every day in my house. That's how the material shows up. I'm not trying to be a flashy artist like, oh, I'm just the vessel. I'm just saying I'm living my life and certain things come up. I write them down. I perform them. People like them. And then you have about an hour and 10 minutes of that and you have a show. As for clean comedy, the line has moved, Pete Holmes said. I think it's very possible that someone does what's considered clean comedy, meaning they're not talking about their penis or sex or about drugs and they're not swearing. They're not saying the 7 words, right? And that comedy can be toxic. It can be ugly. It can be encouraging really backwards thinking and harmful ideologies, right? By the way, I'll defend someone's right to be able to do that. I'm just saying what I see sometimes. And I think it's quite possible to talk about drugs and your penis and the existence of sex and say all the 7 words and do a joke that's really beautiful. In fact, I think that's part of the message. I'm not ashamed. I don't choose my thoughts. I don't choose my feelings. I'm here to report on them and laugh at them and thereby take away some of their power. Now, did I say F? Yes, but if that's your line in the sand, whether or not a comic says F, that's fine. That was me for the first 28 years of my life. It's not my line anymore. And I'm happy to say there are lots and lots of people that are nuanced, that are lovely, compassionate, generous, interested people that aren't turned off by the full human experience. By the way, I love clean comedy too. It's just like I don't think clean necessarily means it's going to be mean or ugly or somehow harmful. I don't think ugly means you swear. Radar Online says Bill Cosby is so desperate for money. How desperate is he? Bill Cosby is so desperate for money that to pay off a massive civil judgment granted to one of his victims, he has slashed the price on his New York City townhouse by more than $750,000 to attract buyers as quickly as possible. A source tells Radar he's desperate to raise money and clearly willing to do just about anything necessary to do so. He should volunteer for a roast. Can you imagine? Boy, that would be amazing. Sources said his once estimated $400 million fortune had shrunk to an estimated $128 million. In March, a California court ordered Bill Cosby to pay $59 million to a former waitress who a L.A. jury determined he had attacked in 1972. The townhouse originally went on the market for a price tag of $6.99 million. It's now at $5.99 million. Someday Bill Cosby will pass away, and I will tell a story on this very program. The Toronto Guardian does a wonderful series called Tragedy Plus Time, where they talk to local comedians. One of them, Shanil Patel. We are told Shanil blends Seinfeldian observations with Larry David-level frustration, balancing clean, clever premises with the occasional unhinged detour. Patel says, I mostly joke about my marriage, insecurities, frustrations, and brownness. People tell me my delivery is smug and lethargic, but apparently not in a bad way. Favorite comedian growing up? Rowan Atkinson is Mr. Bean. You don't see that answer a lot. Favorite comedian right now? Nate Bargatze. Josh Johnson impresses me the most. Pre-show ritual? Pacing while trying to remember my joke order. Favorite bit you've written? Patel says, I've been working on a bit about learning French that I'm proud of because it's clean. My other favorite new bit is one called Grandpa's Penis Mold, which is less clean. And that is your comedy news for today. You can follow the show on Spotify. Click on notifications so you never miss an episode. And Spotify has a little comment section there if you want to weigh in on any of this. And I'll meet you back here tomorrow.